Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Three Dads and a Console. I'm one of your hosts, Waba Plays, alongside, as always, Court. Hello.
Hey, how's it going? I picked up a PlayStation today.
Is that an OG?
Yeah, OG PlayStation 1. I got it for $40 Canadian. Honestly, I picked it up from this.
Oh, 40 Canadian, never mind. I was like, good answer, Steve. Good deal. Good deal.
No, I picked it up from this guy not too far from me, through Facebook Marketplace, and he fixes old consoles. So I was like, sorry, $50. Sorry, my apologies. Still amazing. It comes with two controllers. He's like, it works. Like, if anything happens, just let me know. And so I got I thought about this, and I'll ask you guys this, even though we haven't even started. We haven't even introduced Pez. He's looking very mighty green today.
That's supposed to mean.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The most iconic Xbox console is the 360.
Correct. Yeah, because when you see it, you turn 360 degrees around and walk away.
Actually, if you turn around 360 degrees, you would walk into the console, Waba.
So, anyways, and I would say the most iconic looking PlayStation console is the PlayStation 1.
Looking, yes.
Yeah, like if you showed it to someone, they like the PlayStation 3. Unfortunately, I love that console. It aesthetically does not look that nice.
There's also like 4 of them.
Exactly. And then the PlayStation 2, well,
just like a black brick.
Yeah. And then PlayStation 5, I would almost say it's iconic, but it's not there yet. It's too brand new. And same with the Xbox. I like the looks, and then when you're talking about the Nintendo, I say the Nintendo has more iconic consoles than anybody does, because to me, the NES is iconic. The Super Nintendo is iconic. I would almost suffice to say that the GameCube is iconic just the way it looks like.
If you didn't say GameCube, I was going to kick you in the beanbag. That is the best. And it has a handle.
In the bean.
And that's what I would say. Like, those are the most iconic consoles to me. Like the OG Xbox, meh, but the NES or a Super Nintendo.
Yep.
The collector in me does appreciate that you bought that from someone who like worked to like fix it, and now it's just sitting on a shelf, not plugged in. And I'm not meaning that as like, I'm not saying that as a bad way. I'm like, that's what I do. I have controllers still in the case. That was it the PlayStation like 20th anniversary controller, the gray one with like the old one.
Well, you'd hate it. I grabbed like 2 brand new Batmans for back
here. You took them out of the box. Oh,
it's seconds, man. Took them, like, I play with them.
Horrid.
They're toys. But they're for me. What? I'm not here to sell them. I've got a Jin Sakai.
It's the intrinsic value.
No.
Intrinsic
Both
value.
this Xbox 360 works and this PlayStation works. Both can be plugged in and work.
If you so choose. The other voice we hear is Pez. Hello, Pez.
Good day, mates. Let's see. Do I have any fun thing to introduce you to? I
thought you were gonna look behind.
He does have the 3 dads and a console lighting.
I do.
Let's be honest.
3 dads on console.
Oh yes, you do have something. You did pick something up because you showed it to me earlier.
Xbox 360 Elite.
Ooh.
That, honestly, that's one of my favorite Xbox 360s. I like it because I had it, and
it cost me $0 because it was in my parents' garage, in a box labeled $50, and I was like, I'm just taking this. They said, yeah, get it out of our garage. I don't care. I tested it. It works.
Has that ceiling there? Have you ever thought of like putting a shelf there?
Wait, right here?
It's angled.
No, he can do a shelf. Stop it.
Yeah, you could
Stop
definitely
talking.
do a shelf. Yeah. I've also thought of like some sort of like flag or posters behind me.
Ooh,
dude, there's one that
you could make it like. I'm sorry, Waba, because he's the same age as me, and you're just a little bit younger.
What do you mean?
You know when we were young, Pez, and we would get like the magazine from the movie theater, and we'd take out all the movie posters and we'd pop them up all over our walls?
Yep.
Dude, you could do that. You could have like the Goonies, like just get all the 80s movies and 90s movies posters and put it behind you.
All right here.
There's a flag I've seen. It has a picture of Barney, and next to it in big white letters it says "commit tax fraud." I would recommend that flag.
You recommend that?
They do have a shirt from AliExpress. I'm telling you, that would be perfect.
That's it. That's the new brand.
See what Waba does. I talk about like, something heartwarming, and Waba's like, so think about this cool flag with a Barney.
Have you ever thought about tax fraud? It's dope.
It's so good. If you want an NCR flag, I'll give it to you. I ordered 2. That honestly, when I was planning on moving, I was gonna behind me. I know I do hockey. It would be an NCR flag from Fallout, but so it goes. Anyway, if you're here, also audio listeners in shambles,
put a rink, paint a hockey rink, and put put the
See,
center
I wouldn't paint on it because it's like
plaster.
it's a textured ceiling. It's not a flat one. But I was thinking maybe like I like the movie poster idea. Maybe like a nice map of Hyrule coming on behind me.
Oh no, that's what you're doing. The original map that we got from Legend of Zelda.
Oh,
the one that
I'll make it work.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I have been thinking of what to do. I like the white, but also like I don't like the white.
P.S. Pez, I'm not gonna tell you you're right, but I'm gonna have it like on the record. I'm loving Link's Awakening. It's such a good game.
It's such a good game. It's such a great throwback to an excellent Legend of Zelda game that was somewhat modernized, so it doesn't feel like old.
It's unbelievable. Like it's unbelievably good.
Plus, it is heyday Legend of Zelda, right? Like everything you want in a Legend of Zelda, it's right there. You want dungeon crawling, right there. You want puzzles, it's right there. Like
it reminds me of Super Nintendo. Like it just it's Super Nintendo.
Plus, you have fun Easter eggs like the Chomp Chomp
right off the bat,
and there's a Goomba in there somewhere, and
right
because it wasn't
no clue what you guys are talking about.
The change. I played this on Game Boy, so I know. Scared the hell out of me.
Fun fact: it wasn't the original Zelda team that made this game. It was a different team that made this for the Game Boy, so they went a little weird with it, and I think that's why a lot of people like it.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, because meanwhile, the original Legend of Zelda team was working on Legend of Zelda 2, which was trash. But we can talk about that at a different time.
And if you want to see visually what we were talking about, you can check us out at youtube.com/3dadsandaconsole to catch us live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesdays.
I'm seeing your post. Oh my god.
It's commit tax fraud, baby. Again, we're 3 Dads and a Console. Not everyone has the time to stay up to date on the latest and greatest in video game news that you need to know about, so that's why we're here. We have a few topics today. The first one we're going to talk about is some Xbox news that dropped at GDC Court.
Yes.
Take it away.
Give me a moment. I got to pull it up. So there's a bunch of graphs because that's what GDC is all about. But it kind of Pez and I were talking about before. This kind of dispels all the Game Pass is bad for the industry type stuff. One of the very first things I'm gonna go through everything and go through the numbers with you. But people that are subscribed to Game Pass are 60% more likely to buy games that are not on Game Pass, 45% more likely to buy add-ons, and 45% more to buy consumables in the games on Game Pass. So the add-ons and the consumables, and then the 60% buy the games that are either on Game Pass or not on Game Pass, pay for them. And then 30% more people start playing other genres because they have the stats if they are a subscriber to Game Pass from what they usually play. Game Pass has contributed to growth on independent plus 300% to indie developers year over year. And 40% Game Pass members play 40% more titles on their console. So they use their console more. So if you have Game Pass, the person is on the console using the console more than a person that does not own Game Pass. So with what I just said, I'm going to ask you first, Waba, because Pez and I got Pez's opinion, but he can go last because he's got some good ones. What is your opinion on subscription services and what we just heard about Game Pass? Because the myth that we've always heard is that Game Pass is bad for gaming. No one buys games. The numbers actually say total 60% of the people that have Game Pass are purchasing games.
I think old Waba would have believed that it causes less people to buy games. However, they're still getting the bag. So what does it matter that if you buy the game individually or if Microsoft pays them in a lump sum? Doesn't matter. I think obviously it's good. I want Sony to do it, and I'm hoping and praying that they do. It doesn't surprise me anymore that people are spending more, because in talking with both of you and also some of our guests and other people, you say, well, if I get the game for free, I'm going to go buy the extra content. Why not? I paid $0 for it. I'm going to pay $10. So you get, instead of one lump sum with the game, you get the drip. And I think that's smart. It's a great way to expose people to new games that they might not have tried. And yeah, I'm actually with Game Pass. I'm gonna be playing some Warhammer Total War on my PC.
Yeah, that comes out this week. Yeah.
I've been counting down.
I think it came out today.
You think I don't wait for my weird games to come out? But yeah, that's I'm not going to buy anything for it because I'm cheap, but I'm sure other people would if there are microtransactions.
I found myself like I'm the one who bought Control. Control was leaving Game Pass, and I bought it because I hadn't finished it, and then I couldn't stop telling Pez how much I love this game. Like I just never got to it. And like, oh, okay, because the one thing they do, and I think this is very smart and helps developers, is if a game is leaving Game Pass and you hadn't got to it, they put it on sale for an obscene amount that you're like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna buy it. So the developer already got their bag for having the game on Game Pass, and then they get that extra bag of people buying the game because it's leaving Game Pass and like, well, I didn't get to. It was in my backlog. I never got to play it. They also do a thing where if the game is on Game Pass, it's not first party developer. The DLC and the add-on content, it's on sale.
So it's on Game Pass. Once it leaves Game Pass, that's it. It's not like PlayStation Plus where you redeem it and you get it until you unsubscribe.
Correct, unless it's a first-party studio game. But if it's leaving Game Pass, they let you know, and that game is on sale.
And it's there for a long time. I think Sony does. I like how they do it, where it's like you redeem it, you have it forever. That's cool. But it's you get it if you want to play it for games. Like literally, that might be the only thing I think they do better. But like you got the fair warning. They tell you 5 months in advance when it's coming. I don't know. I think it's good. And if you don't think it's good, I think you're wrong.
But also that model to do like if you download it, you own it. You're not going to get the selection you get on Game Pass.
Very true.
So you'll get 3 games. One of them might be a banger, like every 3 months, and the other ones are kind of like, meh. Okay, fine. That's fine.
I am actually shocked at that 60%. I thought it would be like in the 30 to 40% because I found myself buying games. I'm shocked. One thing I found with Game Pass is I've liked a developer and bought their games that weren't on Game Pass.
For anyone listening, contextually, let's say there's 25 million subscribers to Game Pass. That means 15 million users are purchasing stuff. So that's a lot of people. Like we could say like 60%. You're like, oh my God, that's like 100 people. No, it's 15 million. Just for everyone out there.
That's a way better number. I'm going to use that.
I did the math.
Good job.
Thank you. So I am a little shocked. I'm definitely shocked at the number of 15 million people have purchased stuff, right? Because I am not one of those people. I am very glad that indies are thriving through Game Pass because if it wasn't for, honestly, I think if it wasn't for Game Pass, I think some games would be left behind, right? I think like Tunic might be one of those games, right, that gets like kind of left behind. But now it's up in every
Not for me. That game is just that. I thought it was a Zelda clone. It is a Death Doors clone, and I can't do that to myself again.
That's fair. That's fair. But so it's become this like nice little, for me, this nice little indie machine, right? Where I can play Hades, or I can play Dead Cells, or I can play Death's Door if I wanted to again, or I can play Tunic, right? And be like, I didn't spend $25-$30 on this game and realize I hated it, right? So to me, like the service is not a hindrance for the industry, but I think bringing the industry into new terrain. Because now we see that Sony's going to do it. Nintendo it'll be a cold day in HE double hockey sticks when Nintendo finds themselves doing a subscription service that isn't Nintendo Switch Online and you can get the Mario Kart DLC until you don't feel like paying for Nintendo Switch Online anymore. You know, so like if Game Pass wasn't successful, why is Sony now going to do a clone of it? You know what I mean? If Netflix came out and it didn't work, Disney wouldn't be like, great, now we're doing Disney Plus. Like,
speaking of Netflix, did you hear that they have $1.3 billion left on the table if they just charge all subscribers an extra $3 for every time they give out their password to someone that's not in their house?
Dude,
so just stupid. Once, like charge them once.
For every single, they did the math. And sorry, Pez, for derailing, but
it's okay.
There was an article I read today, so they're testing this out in certain places in Europe right now, where a lot of people share their password on their Netflix. I share it with my in-laws, and we split the cost. They're saying that that's fine. They don't care, but they're going to charge you $3 for every household that's using it that's not in your household. It'll be $3. They've estimated that as $1.5 billion in lost revenue.
Fair, but some of those people, like Nan, is not going to subscribe. I tell you what,
you say that. Like I see a lot of people complaining.
A lot of X is going to be bent.
Yeah, well, I heard a lot of people like I just reading in there saying there's no content, there's no this, and I'm just like, there's so much content on Netflix. I almost think to the point where people are just complaining. They're like, well, I should be paying nothing and getting all these things. I think it's the generation that didn't grow up like you and me, Pez, where we're like, yo, dude, this is a lot of stuff. Yet they're like, oh, I should be getting this for $10 a month. I'm like, or it's ridiculous. They're charging me $14.99. They're giving you amazing content at $14.99 a month. If you don't like it, sure, fine, unsubscribe. But if you're unsubscribing to just go steal it, then you suck.
Yeah, go get Disney Plus like an adult. Come on.
3 words, gentlemen. That's capitalism, baby.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like it, you can suck on it. Because listen, if they're gonna up you $3 and people are gonna pay for it and they're gonna get $1 billion on the table, they're gonna charge you $3 and not 100%. Care if you leave. They're 100%. Not gonna care if you leave because they'll be like, you'll leave, right? But Nana, who has been paying us, all of a sudden isn't watching, but isn't paying attention to her subscription, right? And that is now rolling over month to month. Guarantee at least. I'm gonna throw a random number out there, but I guarantee at least 35% of their subscribers
are dormant.
Probably haven't watched Netflix in 5 months.
I would even go as far as saying that the fact that people are getting mad about Netflix wanting to do this, when you're getting mad because you're giving away your password to somebody and someone's getting it for free. So you're getting mad. You're probably the person that's getting it for free. And you're like, I now have to pay $3. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you're getting mad. You don't get to steal anymore.
Like that's what I don't get. That's what I don't get. I was reading these people thinking everybody's like, this is ridiculous that Netflix is doing it. I'm like, so Netflix is charging you to use their service and you're mad. Okay, I just want to make sure. That's what we're getting at here. I mean, you're mad because Netflix is charging you.
I think personally that they shouldn't do it.
I think they should. But I'm in capitalism. I'm all for making money.
I mean, I get why they would. I'm like, you probably made enough money. And unless you're going to give me good original content, I don't want your garbage. Get your garbage.
But that costs money. So if they're going to get an extra 1.5 billion, I'm going to get more new content. Like that new Ryan Reynolds movie. I want to watch that. It looks great. Those documentaries, I can't. You give me so many good murder documentaries on Netflix. Come on now. Come on.
They got good Korean and Japanese stuff. It's awesome.
No, they don't.
No. So I know everyone's like, oh, Squid Game. Alice in Borderland is very good. And I was watching, I think it's called it's a zombie like TV series. I think it's like All My Friends Are Dead. It's Korean or something. I don't know. It's really good. Yeah,
I think my wife watched that one already.
There's lots of good. Peaky Blinders is coming back, and that is so good. It's the last season, but still.
Guys, can you learn how to do a Cillian Murphy accent and just talk like it a whole episode, please?
So I watched. I got one here for you. Do you know that the lead character on that show doesn't ever eat on screen, and it's a thing, and they purposely doing it every season, and no one caught until just now, and there was a whole video on it. On Peaky Blinders. He doesn't have food. He doesn't eat food in any episode.
Why?
Because it was just something he wanted to do for fun.
He drinks a lot.
Well, yeah.
God bless him. God bless him.
So I know we're talking GDC subscriptions, but did anything else come out of GDC? I used to look forward to I didn't know GDC happened.
Well, we had all the that great hashtag or I'm a developer or whatever. This is what it looked like thing.
Yeah.
I guess that was cool. Like,
get to see some of the people behind the games.
Sure, you know what? Some of those people need a voice, and there was a lot of. We're going to talk about a game where it's got a lot of controversy. We're not going to talk about the controversy. I think I've talked about it enough on every show I've been on. But there's a lot of developers that made this game that have nothing to do with the person that created the characters or the world. Let's say that they based the game off of. She had nothing to do with the game. She didn't work on the game. Yes, she's going to profit off the game. But guess what? She's a billionaire. She's going to profit off anything anyways. So whatever. Like I said to someone before, I was talking to someone. I'm like, it's Luke Lore said it great on XCP. Not everything's black and white. There's a lot more to this, but like, come on, Disney is just as bad. Like the fact that all their people are doing interviews right now, and they're like, Disney was putting money towards a ban on the word gay in school. They can say whatever they want now and try and pull off the I didn't mean to thing. Okay, whatever. And then what did they use? Oh, well, we have those type of characters in our movies. Oh, yeah. So no, that's not good enough. But they're not just that. Amazon's terrible. Half the people that were dunking on the Hogwarts Legacy thing, they work at companies that are owned by Tencent. Oh my God! Like, talk about really that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna talk about a company that puts money towards genocide? Really? Okay, sure, all right.
People talking bad about it are probably Hufflepuffs. Am I right, lads?
Well, it's just, you know what? There's always something, and I get it. And it's just for me, it's like, okay, if you're gonna do this one, then you're gonna do it all. You got to go after all of it. You're not gonna give Disney a pass because you love your Marvel characters. But you're gonna keep, like, come on now. Like, Disney's, guess what? If you really want to look into everything you love, it's bad. People are bad, but unfortunately, I'm trying to separate the art from the artist, I guess, in this case, and
or the creator, the artist.
And
from
as
the
we
creator.
said on PlayStation A, we have a link in our show that we talked about Hogwarts Legacy. There are a lot of great places you can donate to help the trans community here in Canada. Go check out our show. We got links in there. But we're going to still talk about the game because, you know what? I'm going to play it. There's a lot of great things in my household. I met my wife based on Harry Potter.
Wait, you did?
Yeah, so my wife...
Wait, are you a big Harry Potter nerd?
Yeah, huge.
What?
But I wasn't. So here's the understanding.
Okay.
I wasn't. So I met my wife at a hockey game. Shocker.
Yikes.
I was watching Ovechkin and she wouldn't stop talking the whole time, but she was talking about like Harry Potter the whole time.
Oh, right.
And I literally said to a buddy of mine, I'm like, I can't stand this girl. I'm like, I never want to see her again. But anyways, our first vacation we ever did together, we went to Florida and we went to Harry Potter World. And then when we started dating, I watched all the movies with her and then loved them. And then we went to Harry Potter World, and then Harry Potter became a thing. Like, you know, Fantastic Beasts, everything. Like, she saw this game, she's like, oh my God, like, we've watched the first one with my daughter. It gives me good feelings, and, you know, we're not around for a really long time in this world. So yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna enjoy it. It is what it is, man. The game looks unbelievable.
Let's ask the important question here. What house are you guys gonna pick?
Oh,
Ravenclaw.
I don't know. I'm like,
everybody picks
Harry
Gryffindor,
Potter.
so I have to go Ravenclaw.
All right,
I like it. I don't love it, so I don't know.
If I had to base your houses on your personalities, I would say Cord is a Gryffindor.
Well, for sure, but I didn't want to pick it because Ravenclaw's got the blue. I like the blue.
I would say Waba is a Hufflepuff.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Nobody likes Hufflepuff, you know?
And of course,
that's
we
not
know
true.
what house I'm in.
Slytherin.
I'm a Slytherin, 100%. I took the test. Because my youngest is 100% into Harry Potter. She watched this 22-minute state of play on the drive home to school, on the drive to school at like 7 a.m. And she ended it on her phone, and she looked at me and she goes, "Daddy, we're buying that." I said, "Yeah."
Day one.
And she goes, "Daddy, we're buying that for the living room so I can play it too." So now I'll be buying a PlayStation and an Xbox copy.
So 100%. My wife loves Harry Potter, like, a lot. She's super into, like, she loves all that, and she read it back to front, and we got to see, like, The Cursed Child in New York. My brother-in-law got us tickets, and I went, and I liked it. But they were like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe we had to sit down for 5 hours." I'm like, I can go another 2. Sitting's my superpower. But yeah, she liked it. She thought it looked cool, and we watched the whole thing. She sat in silence, leaned forward, and she's like, "Oh, is this on Switch?" Yup. So I'm gonna buy it because it looks cool for PlayStation, and I'm probably gonna get it to her for Switch, which is another game for her to play. Is it the best place to play? Probably not, but it's the only place she'll play.
But if she enjoys it,
then I don't have to share. So
fair.
Strong points all together in there.
Well, I'm
a bit of a head myself, you know.
So for those unaware, Guillermo, no, it is not a PlayStation exclusive. It'll be out on all the consoles. It is a single-player only game. The developer has come out and said there are no multiplayer aspects of this game. As of right now, I don't think that's going to change I'm going to guess it comes out in November. So that's not going to change.
And no microtransactions to it.
And no microtransactions either. So based on that, and based on what you have seen, I know we've talked about, yes, we're going to play it. Is this a day one purchase for you guys?
Yes. I wouldn't even think twice. This is the developer, when she was talking about the director of the game, she was talking about how she was walking around Hogwarts and lost 45 minutes of her day. She was supposed to go do a side mission, and she just ended up walking around and going in rooms. Now, from what I understand, is you can walk anywhere on the Hogwarts grounds, and then you can use your Quidditch stick, and you can go anywhere you want. Like, this map is massive, but they've also done, like, the room of requirements is going to be where you level up and you do all your spells and your potions and so on and so forth, which is very cool. They've also kept it more towards the book's descriptions of things, based not just the movies. They've used the movie for inspiration, but there's rooms and stuff that is talked about in the books that is not in the movies. So they have said, or even rooms that they've alluded to, they said that they hope that 5 years from now, people are playing this game and they're just finding secrets.
That's cool.
So I think it's going to be one of those things where people are just going to be going out of their way to try and find hidden rooms. And they said that people that really know the books will be able to find all this stuff because you'll know where it is. They've got rooms that they've alluded to. If it was in the book, it's in the game. Now, they also got to do their own. They got to take, this is their own story. This is their own everything. They get to use the property, but it's in the 1800s. They made it their own. So these are all their own characters, so on and so forth. Also, you can make a transgender character in this game.
Cool.
Here we go.
So,
big dub.
They have done such attention to detail, like even the bathrooms. Like if you I was going through this video and we were watching it. Matt and I were talking about it on the show, and I was just in awe on how this game looked. Like, it looks crazy. All the mini games that are in it. They even have they said there's nods to the original video games in there. So I can't wait to see those Easter eggs.
Nice.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I have a funny feeling this is going to be Easter egg heavy and secrets heavy, this game. It's going to be one of those games where everybody just spends hours and hours trying to find fun stuff in it.
Is it a chamber of secrets?
Ooh. Well done, actually, Wabba. That was actually very good.
Shh. That's what I do.
My man's a Hufflepuff. What did you guys think of the combat? What did you think of the spell combat? It looks pretty good.
It looks like Infamous.
Yeah.
Second Son.
It does.
That's exactly what it looks like. Jesus,
I like
you know
how
what?
he
I want to play
spins.
that game again.
I like how he goes like pew pew pew, and then he spins around. He's like pew.
But that's in the movies.
I know.
That's literally Harry Potter.
I was worried, like, when I first saw it, that it was going to be like repetitive, because it was like, oh, how many spells are there? Turns out there's a lot. I just don't pay attention. I don't read the books. But like, there was one point in it where like your kid, he's like Avada Kedavra or whatever, but he's just like that's like this just murk someone, and I'm like, wow, this game is serious. Yep. Like, I remember like when I was watching the movie, like with Crab Goyle, whichever one, he like just busted out when this room's falling apart. I'm like, dude, this dude brought it. And you can, like, I don't know. It's very interesting. It's not like, oh, I'm just wearing green, I'm bad, or like, oh, I'm a bad wizard. It's like, no, you can, like, seems like you can go full, like you said, full Infamous.
Oh, part of me is excited that part of me was expecting that they wouldn't even put the killing spell in, right? Because it's like going to be kind of like a kiddie friendly game, but no, I
don't think it is.
I don't think it is either. After seeing the trailer, I was like, ooh, he drops that the killing spell, and my kid was like, Daddy.
Yeah, everyone I'm sure gasped during that.
And I was like, yeah, apparently you can get in the game. She's like, I'm not going to use that. And I was like, oh, my Hufflepuff baby, I love you so much. And in my head, I'm like, I'm going to use that a lot.
Well, it's kind of funny. Like when I was watching the movies, we let my daughter watch the first one, and we haven't let her watch any of them. And we said, like, when she's 6, she can watch the next one. When she's 7, she can watch the next one. When she's about 9, she could probably let her watch all of them. But like the Harry Potter movies, as they get older, they get way more mature and it looks like this game is more in that 16 to 18 range as a parent.
Correct.
If you know what I mean, I think. But, 14 to 18 range, because it is Harry Potter. Let's be real here, because it is fantasy. Depending on if you have a mature 14-year-old, I'm sure they'll have no problem with this game.
Yeah, I mean, I fully expect my 10-year-old to mostly walk around. More of a walking simulator than anything. And
that
then
part
when she
I
needs
think
help,
is cool.
she'll call me.
Yeah.
And
like,
that's what I think it is.
You can explore looks sick. Like, people are gonna, like, I remember like when I went to like Orlando or whatever. What is it? The Harry Potter World.
Universal
You
Studios.
go in there and you like see the castle and you're like, oh my god. But like, is it cool? You see the school, whatever. Like I said, I like Harry Potter. I'm not
Wubba loves Larry Potter. Are you kidding me?
Harry Potter.
We're talking about Larry Potter over here, everybody.
Larry Potter. I mean, I only watch Harry Potter. But like you go there and it's cool. It looks visually cool, but like you don't really get to see a lot. You get to see the little scenes when you're in line, but like you don't get to explore it. This game is gonna like fill those gaps. Like, it's not just gonna be like, oh, I'm in there. It's like, no, you want to go to that place, you go to that place. At least from what we've seen, and I think that's very, very interesting. And I think people who like love like this property, this like obviously it's gonna be game of the year for them. But like, what other games do you need? You just live in Harry Potter world.
For me this year, I have 3 games that because I truly believe God of War ain't happening. Horizon was one of them. I just played it. Right now, maybe Stalker 2, but I'm like, meh. Like it's not like anticipated. So I have Starfield. I'm anticipating. Lego Star Wars looks dope. It comes out in 2 weeks. That game is a must buy for me. That game looks amazing. And then you have Batman, Gotham Knights, and then I have Harry Potter. That's it for me this year. Like those are the games where I'm like, I'm going to get the game. Like right now I'm trying to finish Horizon so I can play Uncharted. And then I'm going to literally play Lego and nothing else. Because that Lego Star Wars game looks unbelievable. And I can play that with my daughter, 2-player. Like that's just a great game. And then I've got, Gotham Knights comes out the day before my birthday, and I mean, everybody's gonna buy it for me. And I'm really hoping WB puts out Harry Potter in like September. Like they haven't announced a date yet.
Oh,
so
but they said holiday.
Yeah, so that's what.
I wonder if they get it up before Black Friday. Yeah,
but you're gonna really like think about it. Starfield comes out on the 11th. That's a
I
tough
think this game can definitely compete with Starfield.
I think you're right, but I'm looking at so you're WB, you're dropping Gotham Knights on the 25th. So when in November
October?
are you gonna when are you October? So when are you gonna you can't drop this game anywhere you want that game to breathe. So True. I would think that you drop Harry Potter first and drop
December.
Harry Potter in December? Because Harry Potter to me thinks it's Halloween.
I don't see if they're gonna say holiday, I don't see September. Unless like Labor Day's a holiday. Let's drop a video game in September. Like when I hear holiday, I think November, December.
But it could be that perfect. Okay, this is just a theory. Hogwarts is about going to school. They started as them going to school. They drop it at the beginning of the school year.
They could.
Do you think that the game weather will be dynamic to the season you're in? Like,
yes.
Do you think it'll be like, oh, it's winter, it's going to snow
but
in
they
the
do
game?
Have dynamic weather. Like if you're going through snow, your cape will get snow on it. They did a whole thing on it. You get mud on yourself.
I think they'll do a Halo Infinite type release where it's like the beginning of December.
That's not a bad idea. It was a very good. It worked out for Halo Infinite big time, and they would still get all that Christmas money.
Yep, that's it. Dude, that is if you
it
have
would
a
be
gamer,
the Christmas gift.
Especially a little gamer, that is the Christmas gift if you have a console that can play it.
And that's that you bring up a good point, Pebs, because then you're first of all you're letting Batman Gotham Knights breathe. That game looks unbelievable. I couldn't see them. It would be very tough for them to pull an EA and release
kill their own game.
Yeah, I don't think you'd want to do that. And Gotham Knights is gonna, and then you got Starfield coming on Game Pass, and everybody's got that, and that'd be a tough. If you're Hogwarts Legacy, even though you're backed by PlayStation, maybe that beginning of December is like the smartest thing. You're like, okay, Starfield's been out for a bit. Yep. It's been taking the news, but you could pull what they did. Like, look what Xbox did. We've talked about this on the show. Forza was here. Halo came, Forza disappeared.
Yep.
If Halo doesn't come out in December, Forza stays on that high. I honestly think they should have released Halo in February, just based on how the game's played, or even later. But they could have kept Forza on this high and still risen this thing, and they didn't. And I'm really hoping WB doesn't do that. December makes way more sense.
True.
They should release Halo when it was ready.
It's not ready yet. It's still not ready.
I know. I know.
People, it's funny. Remember, I gave a 7.5. And I was on shows and people were not agreeing with me. Everybody was like, I can't believe this game's perfect. And I'm like, it's not though. Like the multiplayer is not that good. The gameplay of the multiplayer was great.
I actually hated that it was open world.
I love that factor. I just didn't think my biggest problem is as someone that plays open world games a lot.
The map was dead.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense to me. I'm
was
like, this
empty.
didn't need to be open world. It could have been just a linear because I was going in all these crevices and nothing was happening. It made no sense to me.
Nope.
There's all these doors. I go up to the door does nothing. You don't do that to an open world explorer person. If there's a door there, at least say you can't open it yet, or don't just have it just being a door.
Slap a do not enter sign on it.
Something. Give me an Easter egg or something, but don't just have a door. It's bad
content to sell it later as DLC.
Yeah, I truly feel that that game is still not ready. That game shouldn't even be out yet if it's not where it is.
No, I deleted it from my Xbox. Goodbye.
I actually never played it. I had the opportunity. I'm like,
you're not missing much.
No, I finished it twice. To be totally honest, the story in the single player is great. It's a very good story, but it left me wanting more, and I haven't got it yet. We'll see what happens.
So on Halo, there's actually a new show dropping tomorrow. It is Halo, the series.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to ask is, are you folks excited about it?
Yes.
And how do you think it'll do?
I honestly think right now, given what's on TV, which is not much, it'll do very well. But the only issue it has is Paramount Plus. I have it. Not everybody does. But if you are an Xbox Game Pass subscriber, you get it currently for free to watch the first couple episodes. So,
really
yeah, it is. Also, Game Pass subscribers, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, Marvel Unlimited, the comic series, is free for the first 3 months if you're a Game Pass subscriber in the US. You can go get 3 free months. I'm gonna try and sign up here and figure out how to do it. Maybe, I don't know. I just wouldn't mind some free Marvel comics. Read some old Spidey-Mans or something. Read some old X-Men, classic X-Men from like
the old
Spidey-Mans.
Spidey-Mans.
But yes, you get to watch it on your Xbox. I think the show will do great. It looks great, but I think what's going to happen is, because it's its own story, you're going to get that's not my Halo, that's not my thing. So you're going to get a lot of that, and then you're going to get all the new people that like it. So I think it'll be a mixed bag of reviews. Look at Uncharted. People dunked on Uncharted in the movies, killing it in the theater.
What do you think, Pez?
I think I'm excited to watch it. I have no expectations for it. Like, I have very low expectations. It is a video game TV show on an independent story based on characters that we being the video game player are very deeply tied into. However, I'm not so much a Halo lore person that I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna ruin my Master Chief. Because guess what? Master Chief really, up until 5, was a voiceless nothing, right? He was just a little death machine, and that's fine. But I have no expectations. I'm gonna watch it, see how it goes. If it sucks, it sucks. If it's great, it's great. And either way, I'm just like, all right, that was the thing that happened. We can move on we'll move on to the next thing. It's not grabbing me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm, as you know, I have not played a Halo story, so I'm not like, it's not my thing, but a lot of people are excited about it, and it looks good. Like from the trailers I've seen, it looks like they put a lot of effort and love into it. So like, I hope, like what Court said, like people can just get over the fact that it's like an independent story.
Master Chief.
I know, right? But it looks cool. Like,
look what happened with Star Wars. Everybody loved the first one that came back. I'm not talking about prequels. Let's just forget that ever happened. And then the second one came out, and everybody like, it's too much like that. Like I was like, you can't win, right? And so for me, I just like the content. Like it's a world I like being in. Give me content, sure, whatever. If it's bad, it's bad. It's good, it's good, whatever.
Yeah, I will also say, whether I like it or not, I'm not going to listen to those nerds on Twitter that just cry all the time. I have found random topics getting into my like trending topics, and it's always like this douchey guy that's like, oh, Xbox has no games, or this girl that's like, oh, video games are cool, and then someone quote tweets her because she's like, oh, PlayStation is the best, Xbox has no games. And I'm just like, you guys are so annoying. Shut up. How about that? Shut your goddamn mouth.
Can we just get a segment where Pez just reads tweets from his feed, and we can call it like Pez yells at a cloud?
Sure. We can read. You want me to read the Toronto one that's apparently blowing up right now?
Yeah.
Those horrible jerseys, dude. Those jerseys are so... First off, reversible jerseys are a dumb idea. Secondly, I actually like the black Maple Leaf jersey like itself. I was like, all right, this is pretty neat. I like it. It's something different. It still kind of pays homage to like the Leafs. But then you turn it inside out and it's this gold this happy gold leaf. First off, no. Second off, definitely not. So I just don't understand. I don't understand why the Leafs are doing this. And also, when you turn it inside out, the numbers look like crap.
Yeah,
so
they're reverse numbers, right?
Numbers.
You can see it. You can see the other number.
Yeah, so it's like backwards.
I hate it.
That's silly.
It's like they did it so they're like, hey, they get knocked out of the playoffs. They're like, oh, no, wrong team. We're the other team.
We're actually the Boston Bruins because we're a good hockey team.
It just screams streetwear. You know, like how everyone's like, oh, I'm going to pay $500 for a stapler that says Supreme on it. It's like that, where it doesn't have to be good. It's just the label / Justin Bieber designed it, I guess, whatever. Anyway, if you care about hockey and jerseys, go look at Pez's Twitter and he'll get you caught up to speed. And Court, both of them were dunking on him.
Oh, they're just terrible.
They are terrible, just like the hockey team and the people that cheer for them.
Honestly, it's funny. In Toronto radio around here, let's just get into this. In Toronto radio around here, they're just like today. They were talking. They were saying like the Leafs would be better off to tank and start losing so that they get the wild card spot. And then so they were all talking like Kypros. They're all saying this, and then Jeff Merrick was like, "What? Like, no, like, yeah, I understand it. You either play Tampa or Florida, but like, then you play Boston. Like, dude, no." And then Justin Bourne was like, "Oh, well, you know, Toronto was the more superior team." And then someone was like, "Well, no, Tampa and Florida are juggernauts, and Toronto hasn't proven to be anything. And right now, Boston's they're tied with Boston. How can you can't even say that anymore, that Toronto's the superior team. No. Right now, Boston Bruins could finish ahead of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Toronto Maple Leafs could be getting the wild card spot now. Like, like what the F, man? As someone who loves hockey, I would just say you just keep playing to get the best seeding possible. Who cares who you play? You got to play everybody anyways. You got to beat the same teams. Like, it is what it is. If the Bruins have to play the Lightning in the first round, so be it. If they have to play the Carolina Hurricanes in the first round, so be it. If they got to play the Leafs in the first round, so be it. You got to win to get to there anyways. But yes, it would be an easier path if you have the wild card spot, because you probably play Carolina, not the Panthers, and anybody that's in that top 3 in the East would have to play each other to get out of there. So say the Leafs miraculously beat the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first round. We all know that would never happen.
That's not happening.
They would have to play the Florida Panthers after that.
At least they wouldn't have to travel far. They could walk.
Well, no, it's not that close, but well, Sunrise to Tampa it's like, you know, hour and a half to 2-hour drive.
You know what they say when there is a trade in the East? The great saying when there is like a Tampa to Pittsburgh trade, how does this affect the Maple Leafs?
Yeah, and that, as someone who lives in Toronto, everything affects the Maple Leafs.
It's got to be insufferable to just listen to all these cotton-headed
ninny muggins. Yeah, because they're talking about the Giordano trade, and then someone on Bruins Twitter was bringing up Giordano's stats in the playoffs, which aren't the best. And they were wondering,
has he ever been there?
He has, which is just not very good at it. But they were just talking about does he make a difference? And I'm like, well, their goaltending is terrible. Does Mark Giordano make a difference on that blue line? No, the guy's like Pez's age, for God's sakes. Like, no. Like, that's just,
I don't make a difference on anyone's blue line either. So
I look at what the Bruins did in the Lindholm acquisition, which is a phenomenal acquisition. He's playing with, I don't know if you saw those videos, Pez, of him and McAvoy already practicing together, and it was like,
did I?
The synchronization.
Safe for work. Oh my
God, it was unbelievable. Anyways, but then you got the Florida Panthers got Claude Giroux and they got Ben Sherratt, and then you have Tampa that got Hagel and Nick Paul from Ottawa. They did
third Paul brother.
They shored up their third line. Florida, Jesus, they just
Florida
got
loaded
better.
up, man. Florida's ready to go. Claude Giroux was like, not going to Boston, not going to
Colorado. It's crazy.
Which I was surprised, because that's actually where I thought he would go.
He didn't want to go anywhere. So he originally had a 5-team list, and then he went down, I'm only going to Florida. Dude, no one listens. I can talk about everything I know. So the Bruins had a deal.
The Toronto fans are malding right now because you're like just dropping straight truth bombs.
Whatever. Toronto sucks. All right, like Austin Matthews is the best player in the league. No, he's not. He's not.
Wait until he goes to Arizona and plays in a university.
You got 2 more years of Connor McDavid, and he's never going to be playing for you again. But so the Boston Bruins had a trade in place where, well, I shouldn't say in place. They had a tentative deal in place where Jake DeBrusk was going to go to Anaheim for Raquel, but Raquel didn't want to talk contract negotiations, so it wasn't happening. So they just didn't do the deal, and that's why he went to Pittsburgh. But I look at, is Jake DeBrusk or Raquel that much of an upgrade? And if you look at Boston, they just got him for 2 more years at $4 million. I'm gonna put something on this conversation right now. Jake DeBrusk stays on the Bruins. He stays on that top line, and he stays with the Boston Bruins.
I'd be okay with that. So shout out Jake DeBrusk. I made a meme TikTok, and it's my best TikTok by like 50%. But yeah,
say it's your best, but
but the problem is you said Josh Brown's name wrong, so it bothered me. So I just
Connor Brown. Apparently, there were 2 guys with the last name Brown from Ottawa. Who knew? Josh and Connor.
Someone
Brown.
who looks at the roster.
So the best part is all these people in the comments are like, dude, you know it's not Connor Brown, like in the video, it's Josh Brown. And I'm like, I don't know, I don't care. I'm like, Josh Brown, Connor Brown, doesn't matter, Bruins in 6. Meanwhile, that boosts the algorithm up. Thanks for the views, buckos.
So what I'm hearing is your most viewed video because people are dunking on you in the comments.
Yes.
I don't care why they watch it. I care that they watch it. Thanks for the engagement.
It's not about your destination, it's about the journey, right?
So yeah, like I look at what's going on, and do I think the Bruins have a chance of winning the Stanley Cup? Sure. Do I think it's a possibility? No. If I'm gonna pick a favorite right now to come out of the East, I could either say it's Florida or Tampa, and then that's it coming out of the East, and then out of the West, I've got Calgary or Colorado. I really like the way Calgary's playing right now. They're playing very heavy hockey. They're playing good hockey, and they got a guy like Lucic. They like as much as we look at a Foligno and be like meh, but once the playoffs start, that third line, I look at the Coyle line. Coyle is a great puck possession guy, and he's going to be dominant out there. But then you got Smith, but then you got like Frederick. So that third line is going to be up against the least amount of matchups, and it's going to be great for them. But then our fourth line now has Nick Foligno on it, and I think he's going to be very well with Curtis Lazar, and then I guess Notsick. And then we got no extras back there. But then you've got our second line. Everybody's like, oh, we don't have a second line center, but we also have Taylor Hall and David Pastrnak. So no offense to Eric Holla. I loved his little dance after Marchand's goal, but all he's got to do is pass the puck to the right person, right? And win some faceoffs.
You don't even need all you want for your second line center with in between Hall and Pastrnak is just someone who won't screw up. That's it. You want a passenger, win a faceoff, let Taylor Hall do the playmaking to Pastrnak, and you just don't screw up your assignment. That's it. Claude Giroux would have been good because he would have been your hopeful insurance when Bergeron eventually retires. But like Andrew Kopp probably isn't gonna like solve your problems at second line center. So for me, you can stay with Eric Holla and be like, it will be fine.
Hey, if I told you who they were in on, but then the conversation stopped because I don't think they could have got enough salary taken away, but they almost had Jonathan Toews, so
yeesh.
I know, but a second line center, he actually would have been fine. Yeah. But he's also a douchebag. He would have been
good.
He's a douchebag.
He looks like a foot.
And you just joined our weekly Bruins Minute.
That's right. Whatever. Lemster is loving every minute of this. Lemster's loving every minute.
Video games. This is NHL 22. Come on, guys.
Whatever. Who cares?
I know it's
hockey. I could talk. It's easy to talk hockey. You know what? The playoffs are going to start. We're going to do our playoff preview, and it's going to happen.
Yeah, you guys are gonna. If you guys don't like hockey, you guys better like.
Waba's got a hockey podcast.
I do. Where you can listen to me and my research called Bleed Black and Gold. And
Zdeno Chara.
It's basically me just ranting about Trent Frederick, and then he ends up scoring and doing well, and then I get to rub it up
Trent Frederick is found a line mate and Smith and Coyle that is helping his career. He's actually becoming better in the corners with the puck, which I really enjoy. He's a good net front presence. Is he going to be any more than a third line winger on the Boston Bruins? Probably not. But
me neither. That's fine.
But we have. I would say until Tampa made those trades, Boston had one of the best third lines in the league.
I love when people say
By far.
nice things about
Their second line, if they did out of nowhere, they got Hurdle or somebody to play on that second line, they would be what I would use the word unstoppable. But I truly have said this over and over again since this trade has been made. Everybody got so mad on trade deadline day. I didn't want them to trade Lysell. I'm glad they didn't, because he's going to be good, and Bergeron's not going to be much longer here. Maybe another year after this year, but they needed to shore up that defense. Their top four right now are Lindholm, McAvoy, Carlo, and Grizz. That they have one of the best defense in the league already, and they just got better. And they've been trying to shore up that left side for years, and they've always gone out and got forwards, and then their defense has let them down in the playoffs. Like every year that the Bruins have lost, when they lost Game 7 against the St. Louis Blues, it's because their defense wasn't there. It wasn't because they couldn't score goals. If they can get now, no, I don't care what the internet tells me. You know that I'll shove it. They now have a guy in Lindholm back there that McAvoy doesn't have to take care of anymore. And as much as we all love Grizz, even when Grizz is there, McAvoy had to take care of him on some of the sides of the puck. Mm-hmm. Now you're going to have Lindholm back there. McAvoy can be more dynamic. He can move the puck up the ice quicker, and he doesn't have to worry about coming back as much. So McAvoy makes everybody he plays better with. If you actually look at it, go look at like the analytics, and whoever pairs with McAvoy, they're up in the top 10 because McAvoy is the reason you're in the top 10. Yeah, now Lindholm gets to play with them. McAvoy, and Lindholm is a very good defenseman.
You're going to have McAvoy and Lindholm anchoring your defense for the next 6 to 8 years.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
It's crazy. Crazy.
So again, that was our Bruins Minute brought to you by Denny's. Denny's, do you like the Grand Slam? Where you can hit a home run down at Denny's.
If you really want it, that was our Ford Final Five talking about the Bruins.
No, Ford doesn't pay us. Denny's.
You didn't Waba, you should have been like, do you want to hit a Grand Slam?
Denny's pays us?
No. Hey Denny's, if you want a better take,
they pay us in Moons Over Miami's.
That's what it's called, Jesus.
I know that's what it's called. The only time I've been at Denny's, I was in Arizona, and I was there for a wedding, and I was intoxicated. And we got a Moons Over Miami, and it made my night. Then I had to drive through a Native American reservation, and I almost got pulled over by a cop. It was bad.
How fast are you going?
Fast and drunk.
Don't say that on. Oh, well.
I don't care. I was 20. Oh, 21.
Okay. Statutes of limitations. That was like 80 years ago. You're fine.
What is that? Is that one reservation cop going to be listening to this podcast and be like, that was the guy I pulled over 22 years ago or whatever?
Section with Arizona is like a circle, the Venn diagram. So
yeah.
Especially that. Yeah. So, I know there are a few other. I want to bring up one thing. It's kind of video game related. You guys like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So everyone does. It's a great game. They just announced that at Disney parks you can get a Cal Kestis lightsaber. So before they just had like lightsabers, like the fact that Cal is becoming part of like the
he's canon. He's canon though.
I don't know if he should be. He
has to be because
they have a BD.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. They put BD-8 in.
Well, not the one. Yeah. Isn't it A? Is it the droid or a droid?
It's the droid.
Oh, I don't know.
It's in that.
So, but it's cool that Cal is like there, and so if you look at it, and I know we have Lemster in chat who's a big Disney fan. Basically the back of it is like all worn because his lightsaber is kind of like messy.
Thank you.
But it's really cool.
Thank you, Lemster. I'm correct, and thank you, Pez. I mean, Waba, just stop. When we say things are canon, he's canon. Anything that Disney does now is canon.
That's not canon. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. A lot of people liked Jedi Fallen Order, including myself, and the fact that they have his thing in Disney. That's a big deal. It's not just it's a video game that's good. It's no, like you go to a park, you can buy his stuff. I'm very excited. That shows that they like the franchise, that it's going to do well, and hopefully we'll get to see another game soon.
We already are.
Your friends over at EA. You better help us out on that one there, Waba.
Respawn, baby.
I'm gonna try so hard.
We can definitely review that game.
Shadow.
I'll do my very best. What are we at? Are we at an hour?
Yeah, no, we're there.
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to share that because I saw it. Everyone was tweeting about it today, and I'm very excited.
Exciting.
So that's gonna wrap it up. That's our podcast for the week. If you had fun, please make sure to check us out on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. You can hang out with us just like Lemster did live, 7:30 Eastern time on Wednesdays when we record. Podcast goes up. You're listening to it on audio if you're not here. Please rate us on either Apple, iTunes, Spotify, or anywhere else where you get your podcast platform of choice.
Podbean. That's a big one. That's a big one in the
really?
in the analytics. Yeah.
Huh.
The Podbean.
What's up, Podbeans?
What up, Beaners?
The Leafs are tied 2-2.
Oh God, I hate the Leafs. So, and if you're a Leafs fan, I'm not going to apologize for what we said.
Yeah,
No,
you suck.
We spent literally 25 minutes dumping all over everything that you have enjoyed as from a child to an adult.
I'm not.
So hit those 5 stars.
UG, your team sucks.
What? But sorry, I was laughing when you said because I wasn't expecting that. Sorry, puberty. 3 dads and a puberty. But guys, no. Thank you for listening. Thank you for spending time with us, and we will see you in the next episode.